Hey everybody, this is your boy Joystick Avant-Garde, and this is the build that I'm planning on using for 2K21 Next Gen. Hopefully, it's a great build, and I hope it does what I'm hoping for it to accomplish. So let's show you what it got, what it's doing, how it works, and how I change everything. So obviously, this is my opinion. If you don't like the build, you don't like how it works, you don't like what it does, change it up. See what you like, do what you like. All right, but let's start with my main goal. So my main goal was to make a build that I could use on rec primarily, but still not be a liability in park or 3v3 situations with the extra spacing. My goal was to make a facilitating forward that could space the floor while still playing good defense. And of course, you got to get that 94 driving dunk. You have to. It's like a must this generation. You have to get those pro dribble moves, elite dribble moves, and you got to have good physicals and everything involved. So I think the batch sped out is maybe one of the first things you look at. You know, it's not one of the most glitchy badge builds that this generation has to offer. Guys like Joe Knows and all these other 90 plus badge builds are out there, but this one I feel like fits the need that I wanted to have it to fit. So to start, we have the 80 ball handle with a max or close to maxed out speed with the ball and close to max out pass accuracy with a total of 29 badges. So my goal here was to make sure that I had Floor General Hall of Fame. My goal here was to make sure I had Quick First Step Hall of Fame. And now, why did I put the extra badge? I only feel like I need a total of 24 badges in playmaking. But the extra badges are there because it fits the role necessarily, and it was a little bit in excess. Because I couldn't turn it down, right? I couldn't turn down that anymore. I couldn't turn down speed of the ball anymore. So that's where those minimums come from. Now, the reason that it's up to 29 is because it only took one more tick on each pass accuracy and speed of the ball. Now, one thing you can do differently if you're like, yo, I don't need to be able to rebound. Rebounding is not my priority. It's not my focus. You can turn down offensive rebounding and defensive rebounding. Turn up steal. The problem with steal is it takes too much overall points. Like it adds to your overall too much. So maybe you can do something like interior defense and then defensive rebounding. So you increase your strength, which then does pick up your total overall, but then you still get rebound chaser on gold and things, but you do lose a multitude of badges. That's why the setup I have is more badge focused, because you do have a 95 perimeter defense, right? And with that 95 perimeter defense, plus all these different badges, the hope is, yeah, I can clamp some cats up and they're going to have a struggle guarding me. So you want the block attribute because of Intimidator. That gold Intimidator should be able to help you contest interior shots where your interior defense may be lacking, and hopefully perimeter shots with your high perimeter defense, your 6'11" wingspan, you're 6'7" already, so you should be able to get that. Now the 94 driving dunk, 71 close shot, 71 driving layup, and a 55 close shot. What's up with that? So you maybe first initial thought would be, hey, take off close shot, increase your driving layup. But you see, you get less badges that way. So you do have a little bit of a trade-off. Hey, would I rather have 3 badges with the ability to have Hall of Fame, Acrobat, and Giant Slayer, Fearless Finisher, all those things? Or would you rather have 4 badges, Hall of Fame Posterizer, and all those things? That is one I would leave up to you guys because it is a little bit of a difficult idea to switch between. But that's the reason I have close shot up instead of driving layup maxed, because it gives you that extra badge. And my idea is to have Hall of Fame Posterizer. Not to scare people with a jump shot. I'm sorry, not to scare people with a layup, but to scare people with a dunk. That, hey man, I need to step up high because he's about to dunk on me. Then the 3-point shooting, I think 24 badges is a perfect amount. So currently at 95, you won't be able to get Deadeye or Deep Threes on Hall of Fame, as well as Stop and Pop on Hall of Fame. But once you reach 99, and a cool feature that they added this gen was that when you reach 99, those badges will be unlocked. And if you fall below 99, where you shouldn't be able to unlock them, you'll still have them available to you. They won't take away those badges. I'm not sure if animations work like that, but it would be great if they did. And so once you do have those badges on Hall of Fame, you can put on Deadeye, Deep Threes, Catch and Shoot, Blinders, Hot Zone Hunter, or maybe you take off blinders and put Stop and Pop, or maybe you prefer Rhythm Shooter on Hall of Fame instead. So there's lots of different options. Or if this game you're like, I'm gonna play more of a perimeter wing type of role, not really on ball, then you can take off maybe blinders and Stop and Pop, put on maybe corner specialist or set shooter. So you can really change a lot of things here, and I think 24 badges on shooting is enough to help you achieve that goal of spacing for your team while still being able to create for yourself. The defensive badges we're going to get into more specifically, but like straight off the top, you got Clamps on Hall of Fame, Intimidator Gold. Depending on your role, are you playing Park as the big? Then maybe you can get Rebound Chaser and you can play the center position a little bit short, but at the same time, guarding against a traditional center with that 93 pointers, step back cheeses, and all that kind of things. You can hit them up with threes, and threes are greater than twos, and with the probability of a three going in, you're looking like a pretty good, pretty decent I don't want to say main center build, but like secondary, or you can take some minutes at that position without giving up too much, especially with Hall of Fame pogo stick, Hall of Fame rebound chaser, Hall of Fame box. So depending on who you're playing with, you could play different roles, and I think that's one of the benefits. One of the harms of the defensive layout is you do have only a 29 steal. That steal is low, so you might get passes that just zoom by your head. And with a 25 interior defense, your post defense isn't going to be good, isn't is going to be seriously lacking. Now, one thing you could do to change it up, I think 93 stamina is the most you need. Of course, speed and acceleration maxed out. Acceleration may not be super impactful when compared to something like speed with ball, so maybe you want to turn up speed with ball instead of acceleration. That's completely understandable. I might actually do that. Yeah, I like that. I like that. And then maybe I'll keep it at 83 and 80. But continuing, 93 stamina should be good enough. If you reach 99, you get the +4. Gatorade boost will help you keep your stamina up. 70 vertical, you need at least a 69 vertical to keep that driving dunk so high. And I think with a high driving dunk, you get better opportunities for the dunking, for catching bodies and things like that. So I think that's really the main objective of the build. Now, takeovers are your perspective, your, you know, whatever you decide to play as. I like the idea of having a playmaking takeover because it is something that I want to be able to do. My idea, the goal of my build is to be a rec build that can run high pick and roll with a traditional center, kick out to shooters, kick out to cutters, dump off alley oops to the big man. So team rating boosts would be awesome. Team takeover boosts, that's pretty cool. And team badge boost. I don't know how much of an ability increasing a badge tier would do because most people are already going to have their badges that they want on Hall of Fame. And so I think something like team rating boost may be something I'll be interested in, or limitless range so I can maybe break down shots more, or maybe something like ankle breaking shots, increase the likelihood of dropping a defender when making step back spin jumpers. So I'm not going to do like spin jumpers specifically. I wonder what pull up does it have off the dribble. So it says off the dribble, but not necessarily leaning. So that will be an interesting one. I think to start though, my primary. Do I want to do spot up precision, or do I want to do negative impact, step backs and spins? Like my question with step backs and spins. So spin jumpers are a little bit more Ticino than me. But like a step back, if I hit a step back move and then shoot it, is that considered a step back or is that considered a pull up? I'm not 100% sure. Is that a momentum shot? So I'm thinking maybe something like taking off the dribble, pull up precision, and like limitless range. I think that's how I'm gonna want to do it. Agent Zero always complains about quality of life things with 2K, and here's one right here. I can't just return to the main menu and say, "Hey, this is my build," but we're gonna go test it out, see what badges I might put on it. It's an offensive threat, so people immediately say, "Oh, he's a guy who can just score, but he has no defense," and then you surprise them that you do have some defense. So we'll start it off at 95. That way, if you're like me, maybe you don't want to go to 99 or grind all that way, so you can see what kind of badges you can get. On the finishing side, posterizer. That's the one you're going for. That's the one I'm going for. Shooting. So again, it depends on the role you're trying to play. So let's say you're trying to play a ball dominant pick and roll player like I'm hoping to be. So you're going to want deep threes, dead eye. Maybe you're looking at Hot Zone Hunter, of course. Then you can look at things like blinders. Is blinders going to be a good badge? Stop and pop. Is stop and pop going to be a good badge? Is rhythm shooter going to be a good badge? what kind of, so you can test out those badges and see what works for you in your game. But I like to have catch and shoot at least because I think catch and shoot is an OG badge in 2K, and that it really helps with your catch and shoot game. It gives you like a plus 10 boost, 10% boost on your on last gen. So I'm assuming it's going to be pretty high as well. And so maybe with 10 attribute points left. So again, when you get to 99 overall, you can put 2 attributes on that, and that will leave you with 2 more Hall of Fame badges. Maybe you can something with like stop and pop, or maybe you go with difficult shots. Again, when you get to 97 overall, you get stop and pop out of Hall of Fame. So maybe you're not feeling it, you go rhythm shooter, and then the other 2 badges you can put here. Or in the meantime, you put volume shooter, or maybe corner specialist to get difficult shots in the corner. But then let's say maybe you're playing more of a secondary role. You're playing more of a corner setup. Not really playing with a traditional big man, but instead you are a big man playing with a traditional point guard. So then maybe you go for something like corner specialist. You can hit stop and pop. Maybe you hit some moves and get that open shot right there. Or you can do set shooter. I know a lot of people like Green Machine, but in 2K Labs Bats Test, I personally didn't prefer Green Machine. So I'm gonna keep that off from now, or at least for me. And then you put that on Deadeye D3s when you get to 99. But in the meantime, you could put it on Volume Shooter Bronze and maybe something like Blinders, test it out. I think currently, because my goal is to play more of a, what's the word, on ball, main ball handler build, I'm gonna go something like this. Try this out. And then for the passing, so for playmaking badges, my goal was to have a predominantly floor general type position. So an interesting badge is going to be Bullet Passer. Will Bullet Passer be better than Needle Threader? Is Needle Threader more for pick and rolls? Bullet Passer just for a general pass? So that's going to be an interesting one. Special Delivery, it incorporates both alley-oops and flashy passes. For that reason alone, I want it a little bit high. But let's say you're trying to get glitchy, you hit him with the ankle breaker, stop and go. Maybe you put stopping while bronze just to have those animations pop up. Space Creator, tight handles, or maybe you'd rather have unpluckable. There's a lot of things you can do here with 29 total badges. It's a lot. And then for your defense, so ankle braces is going to be interesting to see. It does look like a lot of people do lose their ankles, so let's have that one on. If you're playing more again of a perimeter role, you want Intimidator. Let's see how Clutch Defender turns out. Is Heart Crusher as good as it was last gen? If I'm playing again more like a guard or something, we're looking at Amber Alert. Come on my phone. We're looking at Pick Dodger and maybe Rim Protector Bronze, Chase Now Artist Bronze, and maybe you do Off Ball Pest. Or if you're playing more of a traditional center, you're not going to be worried about getting your ankles taken or going through screens. You're more worried about protecting the basket. And then you hit those 2 up, and maybe you go something like Pogo Stick. Maybe turn on Chase Down if you like. So there's different ways you can make this build. There's different ways that you can have your setup. And I think this is the build that I'm going to run with for 2K21 Next Gen. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, and hey, thanks for showing up.